What's up, everybody? It's me, your boy, the YouTube champ, Tana Tony. And guys, you know this. Everybody on social media that is connected to me knows that this man to my right is my wrestling hero. I wrestle because of this guy. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, let me do it right, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Yes. Listen, an honor and a pleasure to talk to you finally. I get to see all these cons.
What do you mean finally?
Well, you know, on the show. You talk to me all the time.
We were talking all day today.
All day long.
Yeah.
Speaking of all day long, these are long days, huh?
Yeah, they're not bad.
Not bad?
Not bad.
But you like the fans. I see you really go with the fans.
I like to, it's a way of giving back, a thank you. I know a lot of guys, they're into the numbers game, and that is sign as many pitchers and get them, keep the line moving as fast as they can, you know. But, fans want to, if they want to spend 30 seconds, what the heck, 30 seconds, right? And they want to talk about the match that me and Flair had at Chicago, or me and Savage, you know. They want to spend, you know, me and Jake the Snake. And what's amazing is kids 8, 9 years old that start bringing up shows that, you know, I wrestled 35 years ago, and they're only 8 years old. And they know more about me than I know about me. So what the heck, right?
It's funny you say that because my son's 6 years old, and he watches your matches. Yeah. You said Savage and yourself, of course. Right. Of course, the IC title.
Right.
And
that's when the championship, I think, meant a lot.
It was the workhorse title.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was the 1 second in line. You know, you figured if you were the IC champ, the next one was the big one, right?
Right, and you know, you did make the big one. Now, to me,
not WWE.
Well, no, to me the big one is the big gold. And of course, you mentioned Ric Flair, yes. And of course this one here, Ric Flair was incredible.
You know, but I'm kind of old school and nostalgia to that. I like the old NWA belt. The old, the one that Harley
right?
Wore, and Briscoes wore, you know, Dusty wore, you know, that
means a lot.
Yeah.
The old school's the best school, you know. Try to tell the kids nowadays. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
So you talked Savage, you talked Flair. Those are two different styles of wrestlers.
Yes.
Two different matches. WrestleMania III, iconic for all the false finishes. That's why there's false finishes today, because of that match. True story.
That's what the guys tell me.
That is true.
Yeah. And sort of changed the blueprint.
Changed the game.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Ric Flair, Iron Man match. Which match means more to you, or do they have different, you know, meanings?
You know, you're talking apples and oranges. You know, both matches got recognized at a high level. You know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Both got recognized at a high level. But the preparation and the finish of going through the process of putting it all together were two totally different animals. Savage, you know, we didn't have, back then, every now and then you would work with a guy and get what I call tune-up matches, because you're getting ready for the big pay-per-view. So you're out on the road and you're working in some house shows with the guy, and collectively both of you are putting together some spots and to get ready for the big pay-per-view. Well, with Savage and I, around February, the angle we did with him coming off the top rope with the announcer's bell on my throat, crushed my larynx. So it was a big question on whether Steamboat's going to be able to get, you know, work again, wrestle again. So I went to Vince in February and I said, look, is Savage and I going to have any tune-up matches? I didn't use the word tune-up. I said, we're going to be able to get on the road and work a little bit to, you know, feel each other out for the WrestleMania III. He said, no, you're going to make your debut WrestleMania III. Oh, that's something new, you know. So I went to Randy, and he's like, "Oh, Dragon, we got to put something together," you know. So we met as many times as we could. I wasn't wrestling, obviously. My debut was WrestleMania III, and started on our gut feeling of what our moments, our spots would be like. He didn't know me that well. I didn't know him that well. We both know we're kind of quick on our feet. And then all of a sudden we start putting these false finishes in. Now back then, your typical match, kind of average typical, you know, 8, 9, 10 false finishes. Well, in ours, we had 20. And it's, because Randy says, all right, Dragon, what do you want to do? And I says, well, what do you think, Randy? He said, well, I think you want to go after my throat. You remember I came off the rope with the bell on your throat? I said, well, that would be logical. Fans would look at it and say, yeah, that's payback. Ricky's going after his, Savage's throat. I said, but Randy, I hate it when the fans call a match. I hate it when they think I knew he was going to do it. I don't like that. Well, Dragon, what kind of match? And I said, let's make it a championship match. Afterwards, after the match, I know I was going to win it. I said, what would hurt you the most is me being laid off for all those months and still make a hell of a comeback and beat you for your championship. Instead of going after your throat, I want to paint a picture that I'm going after the championship. Let's paint that picture. So that's all of a sudden all the false finishes started coming in.
So basically you're telling a story during the whole match.
Yes, that I'm going after his championship and he's trying to hang on to it. That's the story.
Oh, wow. And that's a great story. You did the Macho Man imitation. Do you get that a lot, people doing it?
All the time.
Are they good?
Very good.
Really?
Yes. Some guys I meet in some of these Comic-Con conventions that are wearing the Randy Savage outfits and they go around talking just like Macho.
Well, if you're here, I got to do it. So you just give me.
Go ahead.
You tell me 1 to 10. Ready?
Yes.
Yeah, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Yeah, I've been thinking about you.
That's 5 stars. That's a 10. That's really good.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That means a lot coming from you.
Yeah, that's 5 stars, man.
I know your time is limited. You got to get out of here. I just want to ask
Real quick, we want to talk about Flair.
I want to talk about Flair. Very important because, look, Flair still today in the business, in AEW. You did some AEW work as well, which was great. It's great to see you in the ring.
I'm waiting for him to give me a shot and say, hey, Ricky, I just talked to the boss for AEW and they want us to do something.
Would you do it?
I don't know. That's honest. I don't know.
You're in great shape. How old are you now, sir?
70.
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I can't believe that you're 70 years old. You look great. WWE Hall of Fame here, Ricky Steamboat, guys. You look like you could do it. I mean, I honestly I'd love to see it. Now, a lot of people, oh man, these guys are in their 70s, but you're at a great shape.
I train 3 times a week, and I got a bike that I ride 3 times a week. So about 5 to 6 days a week, I'm doing some kind of physical activity. So, but I do it because I know it helps me. I'm not going for look.
Right.
All right.
Well,
I know it helps my joints, my hips, my knees, so my heart, my cardio. So that's why I do it.
Is Flair your greatest
Plus, I got a wife that likes to do it too.
Oh, hey now.
Yeah.
Hey now. Is Flair your greatest opponent?
I would have to say yes, on a consistent level. And I've been in the ring with some really great heels.
Yeah.
Valentine's and Blackjack Mulligans and Jake the Snake Roberts and Macho Man Savage and, on and on and on. But on a consistent level, day in and night after night after night, the hundreds of times that we've worked, we always were trying to outdo ourselves. His competitiveness in the ring is second to none. It's not like, Ricky, I don't feel good, let's have a night off. Never, not once. And we've probably wrestled each other 300 or 400 times, but never, not once. So, yeah, he's without a doubt the man.
Wow.
He's the one that gave me the break. Started my break with Jim Crockett Promotions here in the Carolinas. So he went to bat for me and said, you got this new kid that's come in. I'd like to try and do something with him.
Yeah, you came as a tag team, too. I know there's a picture. 39 years ago today, there's a picture with you, Youngblood.
Jay Youngblood.
And Ric Flair. And you guys, 39 years ago today, took a picture together. He had the world title, the 10 pounds ago, and you guys were tag team champions.
Yeah, was that when we wrestled in Greensboro?
It was.
Yeah.
I know my stuff, too.
Yeah. See, it was me and Jay against Sergeant Slaughter and Don Canoodle, and Ric Flair was Harley Race.
Wow. One final thing, a personal thing for me. So, I've talked to you a few times at the cons. You're always really gracious. I just want you to know this from my heart, and I hope I don't get verklempt. I wrestled because of you. I saw your first matches in '86 because I was a WWF guy, so I didn't really get to see some of your other stuff.
Yeah.
But when you came '86 at the Madison Square Garden, at the Boston Garden, I watched you. I followed your arm drags, how you did your deep arm drags. I did them just not as great as you, but I tried so hard. Because of you, I stepped in the ring in 1993. I had a nice little career on Independence. I just want to tell you thank you, Mr. Steamboat. Thank you for everything you've done for the business. Thank you for being on the show. You mean a lot to me. You don't have any idea. This means a lot to me. My uncle who passed away, he got me into wrestling.
Yeah.
And you remind me of him because you're such a nice guy. You were one of the only wrestlers that always stayed face. You never turned heel. You would never heel, and that's a big deal to us. And us people in the wrestling community, we love you, Mr. Steamboat.
There's just a handful of us guys that they started out in the business one way and ended up right. Tito Santana being
yes,
one.
yes, Tito too.
Yeah, and so it's hard to do, and to maintain a level to where you can still sell tickets as a lot of guys go back and forth is because they're not selling tickets as a heel, so they turn face, and all of a sudden their stock value bumps up,
right.
And they ride that as long as they can, and when they're not selling tickets they turn back heel, which their stock value bumps back up again. But there's a couple of few of us that just were fortunate that we didn't have to do that.
And you're one of the greats that's done it. WWE Hall of Famer, former IC champion, former tag team champion, former world champion. You've done it all, man. You've done it all. And I just want to say thank you from the nation of tantalization, from my show, for my daughter Kira, from my son Michael, Mr. Steamboat. Ladies and gentlemen, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
I want to say your daughter's done a great job holding that camera there.
She's holding two cameras. She's awesome. That's my producer, Kira.
Double fisting it.
She's the best in the world. She's the best in the world. Guys, this is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, guys. Mr. Steamboat, once again, thank you so much for being on the Tantalizing Tony Wrestling Show.
Tony.
Yes, anytime, sir.
Yeah.
And as always, can you do my catchphrase? It's stay tantalizing.
Stay tantalizing.
Yes. Okay, I'll say, do what I do best, and you say stay tantalizing.
Okay.
Cool? And as always, for Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, do I do best, and that's what?
Stay tantalizing.
Yes!